Hey fragrance friends, Eugene here. I want to thank you guys for joining me in my fragrance journey. Today I've decided to do something a little bit different and present to you my top 5 winter fragrances that I've worn the most from 2014. Usually you see a top 5 or a top 10, a top 20 list. It's fragrances you're expected to wear for the upcoming season. I find these lists are pretty much inaccurate because if I were to compose a list of the top 10 winter fragrances, my favorite fragrance of all time would probably be at the top of that list, which is Musk Ravageur. But I go through my list and I see I've only worn Musk Ravageur once all winter long. So like I said, it's a pretty inaccurate list to me. I've documented everything I've worn last winter. I'm going to present it to you guys. And really for me, it's a way to keep track of fragrances that I wear, fragrances that I don't wear. That way I can sell them off, trade them, or make new purchases composed from this list. I got this idea from a fellow frag head, a local Torontonian here, Sebastian. Sebastian, I know you're watching. It was a fantastic idea. When I first heard that you track your wearings, I was blown away. I was so amazed that I took the idea upon myself. I started tracking it, and I really love this. It's a fantastic idea. So I'd love to see more guys doing stuff like this because it's a really an honest way of composing a top 10 list or a top 20 list. So I'm not pointing fingers at anybody else. I love all these top 10 lists. I watch them all. I feel that they're not always accurate. So that's just my thing. Anyway. So I did keep it down to a top 5 as anything after that, the list gets really watered down. There's only 8 days in the winter season. So, I mean, to make a top 20 list, I'm sure some of those fragrances don't get any action whatsoever. So I do have a top 5 and a couple of honorable mentions. It was actually an 11-way tie. I'm not going to present all 11 fragrances. I think I have 4 honorable mentions here that I'm going to share with you guys. So the first one being is from the House of Christian Dior. That would be Eau Sauvage Parfum. This to me is strictly a winter fragrance, maybe on a cold fall day. Notes of bergamot, vetiver, and myrrh. The first thing I think of this fragrance is the strength of it. This is a beastly fragrance that lasts all day long. It is a very versatile winter fragrance. You can dress this up. You can wear this to work. Just a fantastic old school vibe fragrance. Opens up kind of citrusy and then it gets very resinous with that myrrh note. Kind of a spicy oriental thing going on here. Just something that I truly adore and something I'm really glad to have in my collection to wear all the time. Okay, this next one that I have here comes from a new house. It's I don't know if it's fairly unknown, but I do consider this a very artistic fragrance and not just for the everyday man. Chad, that's a stab at you. Sorry, buddy, but I had to do it. I'm really enjoying this fragrance. I did wear it a bunch of times over the winter. Specifically, I decided to wear this for Super Bowl Sunday just because of the masculinity. I find this fragrance very masculine. Super Bowl, very masculine sport. This is Rhinoceros from the House of Zoologist. A leather-based fragrance, a very harsh, dense fragrance. Opens up very spicy and smoky, kind of dry fragrance. You have some oud and lots of smoke. Lots of woods in the dry down. Guys, if you're into the art of fragrance and you like leather, this is something you need to check out. It's very unique, long lasting, and chicks love it. More than Aventus. Trust me. Okay, moving on, we have a rose-based fragrance. Rose is one of my favorite notes. And I picked this up recently, but I did have lots of samples of this, and it is something that I did reach for quite often. This is from the House of Armani, the private line. This is Rose d'Arabie. This is not something that I loved right from the start. I thought it was an okay fragrance, but the more I wore it, the more I was attracted to it. This is very woody, very resinous. You get notes of oud and rose. The rose to me is kind of a candied sweet rose, and this dries down to a base of vanilla. Beautiful bottle. I think it's a little bit overpriced, but I have so many rose fragrances. It was kind of the last one that I purchased. I was just running out of rose fragrances to purchase, so I really stabbed at this. Would I purchase this again? I'm not so sure. At this price point, maybe I'd go with something else. Okay, and the last honorable mention, this goes to my absolute favorite house, and that's from Frederic Malle. This is a very special fragrance to me. This is Un Rose. I don't know if you guys can see that. So Un Rose, this is a rose-based fragrance, very musky, very earthy. I can smell the earth in this, the roots. This is a rose soliflor, like a single rose, just like the name implies, Un Rose. Somewhat jammy, very musty. Like I said, you get a sense of sour grapes in here, or fermenting grapes. When I was a kid, my dad used to make his own wine, and I'd go in the basement and I'd smell the barrel where the wine was fermenting, and I get a lot of that from this. This fragrance, the rose ends up a really dark rose in the end. It lasts all day long, and this to me is a very special fragrance. I got married last fall, and this was my wedding scent of the day, so it is very special to me. I think it's one of the best rose fragrances ever created, and I'm super glad to have it in my collection. Okay, so starting with the top 5 scents that I wore last year, I'm going to give you number 5. This is from Chanel, the Exclusives line, and this is Coromandel, one of the favorites from this collection. This is a patchouli-based fragrance. It starts off with lots of patch. In the mid, you have lots of earth notes, iris, orris root. You can almost smell the ground in this. And in the base, you're getting lots of benzoin, vanilla, tonka, and it gives you the sense that you're smelling white chocolate. So, a very cloying fragrance, very powerful. It's sexy, and it's a very mature fragrance, not for everybody. Number 4, this is a fragrance that, for me, was love at first sniff. This is Interlude Man from the House of Amouage. What is not in this fragrance? You have everything in here. It's such a powerful fragrance. It's very unique, opens up very smoky, lots of amber notes, lots of spices in here. It's a very sweet fragrance. Now I gotta say, I do have the reformulated version of this with the magnetic cap. At first I was a little bit disappointed to hear that. Now I could care less. This is so much more wearable than the original. The original to me was super strong. The days that I wore it, it made me angry. I was angry at myself. I was angry at the world. This, I can spray a little bit more. I'm not so angry. I'm enjoying it, and it is something that I'm really happy to have in my collection. My wife loves this. She wears this. She wore it to work the other day. For you guys that are concerned about the reformulated version and the potency of this, she wore it to work. She sprayed it on at 6 a.m. She went to go get her nails done at like 5 p.m. The lady doing her nails told her she smelled fantastic and asked her what she was wearing. So, that's a long day for somebody to pay a compliment. Anyway, Interlude Man. Love it. Number 3 is a fragrance that does not get a lot of love for the people that do not love the art of perfumery. This is from the Dior Private Collection. This is probably, from all the fragrances in the top 5 winter list, this is my favorite. This is very special to me. It's very unique. This is a fragrance that is like no other. I truly cherish this. I think if I could only have one, this would be it. But it's not something I would probably reach for in this summer or the warmer months. This is Leather Oud. Leather Oud opens very smoky, lots of birch tar, very woody. You get a lot of leather and resinous oud. There's a lot of civet in here, sweet civet combined with honey. Just a beautiful, stunning fragrance. I believe there's some patchouli in here. Just, you know, when I wear this, I just feel incredible. I love the way I smell. It may be offensive to others, but you know what? I really don't care. I don't work in close proximity to many people. I can if I want to, but I stay away. I do my own thing. And, you know, for that sake, I love to wear this. This is, to me, this is amazing. This is, like I said, one of my favorite bottles in my collection. So, Leather Oud, number 3. Number 2 is a fragrance. The first couple of times I smelt it, I wasn't really impressed. I mean, not that I wasn't impressed. I just felt like it wasn't bottle worthy. It didn't have the potency. I smelt fragrances from, you know, from the same line that I love so much more. This fragrance is Noora, private blend from the house of Tom Ford. The reason I wasn't getting this is I'd go into the store at the counter and I'd sample a bunch of things, Tuscan leather, tobacco vanille, and I'd sample Noora at the same time as those others, and I can never really smell it because those other fragrances were overpowering this. Now, when I spray this on its own, this to me turned magic. Noora, I owe you an apology. You are a stunning fragrance, a rose-based fragrance. When I spray this, I get sour grapes right away. I get a little bit of rose. They say there's some oud in here. I'm not getting that oud. I'm not feeling it. There could be a touch of oud. I get a lot of vanilla. I get somewhat some chocolate. You know, this to me is a stunning fragrance. They say this is not very versatile. This is my second most worn fragrance all winter. I wear it to work. I wear it when I go skating. I can wear this pretty much anywhere. I don't think this is offensive. I think this is a truly stunning fragrance and probably one of the least offensive in my top 5 list. Noora, I love you. That's all I can say. Stunning fragrance, especially if you love roses. Okay, number 1. My number 1 worn fragrance. What can I say? This, for me, was a stinker the first time I worn it. I put up a review of this the other day. I absolutely love this fragrance. To me, it's very unique. I've seen reviews of people complaining about this lack of uniqueness. I don't know, I can just laugh at those remarks because I don't think they're true whatsoever. This is Tobacco Oud from Tom Ford, private blend. Fragrance Bros, Jer, Daver, I watched your guys' videos so many times. I thought it was hilarious. You guys knocking this, calling it skanky and stinky and how anybody could wear this. You know, I have a completely different approach on fragrances than you guys. Doesn't matter. I love your guys' video, but I truly love this. My wife loves this. She doesn't get any caca in this. First time I smelt it, to me it was all caca. I couldn't believe what I was smelling. Like they put a caca in a fragrance. I was a little bit embarrassed to wear it, but you know, I got a sample eventually. I wore it a few times, and I truly love it. This is an amazing fragrance. You know, opens up very smoky, very spicy. You get a dry tobacco note. You get a sweet whiskey a note. Some oud, resinous caca oud. You get some incense in the mid, some honey in the base. You get a ton of amber, benzoin, vanilla, some burnt vanilla. So, guys, check this out. Tobacco Oud, Tom Ford, amazing fragrance. Chad, I know you call this a stinker, you know. Chad, Fragrance Bros, they didn't like this. I think Mickers didn't like this. A ton of guys did not like this. What can I say? To me, I truly loved it. There's one more honorable mention I forgot here. I don't have a bottle, but I do have, I got a ton of samples of this. This fragrance is, it's one that, to me, it's an enigma. I'm really trying to love this fragrance, but I'm just kind of lost and confused. This is Cafe Rose by Tom Ford. The opening to me is it's stunning. I get a ton of roses in there. There's 3 different kinds of roses in this fragrance. Like I said, the opening is stunning, And then from there, this just goes downhill for me. I truly want to love this. I love the smell of it, but it doesn't motivate me. It doesn't move me. This does not inspire me as much as I want to. I've worn this so many times. You know, not full wearings, but I'll apply it on my way home from the gym after a shower, just hoping something will grab me. But it's just not. I'm not feeling it. As much as I love roses, and I do want to love this, I'm kind of confused. I wish somebody can shine the light on this, or just hold my hand and pull me there. But especially at this price point, you know, 230 Canadian with taxes, $260. Come on, Tom Ford. I was expecting a lot more from you. You know, I am getting that incense note in spicy pepper. You know, some ambers, but I'm just lost. You know, I was expecting something. Move me, Tom Ford. Move me, guys. I want to thank you so much. I love making videos. I wish I had more time to make more videos, but they are really time consuming. You know, it takes for me to collect my thoughts and just record stuff and upload it to YouTube. Sometimes takes about 3 days, which is, you know, with a full-time job and 4 kids, I'd love to make more videos, but it's not always possible. Guys, but with a couple of comments, some likes, it just motivates us guys to make some more videos. So I'd love to hear your comments on my top 5, and let's see what you have to say. Guys, good or bad, I'd love to hear everything. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.